Ah, so yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, I thought I should make this video. I wanted to sit down and have this conversation with you, almost as if me and you were here sitting face to face. I've not had the opportunity to tell the story in full, but I thought about it last night, and if in terms of telling the story, there's just so much that I actually want to share, that I want to tell. So many examples, so many experiences that I've made on the walk, that I figured what I'm going to try to do is try to break it down as best as possible. Now I don't want to bore you guys and make it tedious or make it too long, because we all know nobody watches you know too long videos on YouTube or anything like this. However, this is more for me as well, to catalog, to write down, to diarize, to record, um, while it's still fresh in my memory. I know it's been over 3 months since the walk, but I still think about it. I still dream about it. I still pray about it. I still have these sensorial triggers, right? Um, Things that I see, things that I hear, just these triggers that make me think and miss the walk, really. Okay, so yeah, how to start, where to start. I'm not going to give you the backstory, because I assume everybody that is watching here knows the backstory basically. But I'm going to start on the morning of the 23rd. The morning of the 23rd, which as you all know was my 23rd, my 40th birthday, 23rd of March 2023. 40 years old. I know I don't look it. But yeah, I'm 40. I turned 40 on the 23rd. And hey, my little treat to myself was to see my country. Obviously, I did the walk for the wife. Obviously, I love what she loves. She's my all and my everything, my queen, my purpose, my muse. Um, but yeah, so when the fundraising was successful, like 2 weeks before I was due to leave, I thought I still want to do the walk. I made a promise. I still wanted to see it through. So when the day came, as the day came closer, everything fell into place. My support card did fall away, but nevertheless, I thought to myself, the fact that I'll be walking alone, the fact that I'll be carrying this massive bag with 30 k's on my back, the fact that I'll be doing this solo, will be even more of a trial, of a test for me, of my spirit, of my ability, you know. Because again, I wanted to push myself, because so many times in my life I've heard people say, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't. And again, I wanted to show not only them, but more myself, that I can. So the morning of the 23rd comes, and we wake up 4 o'clock. Oh, I'm freaking tired. Um, but I wake up, and my wife's here next to me, and my buddy, my bestest old bud, Javon Southgate, my G. Um, he pops up, he picks me up, he stands up early morning, a little bit of mumbling because it's early, but he comes, he picks me up, we drive through here to town. It's me, Washila in the back seat, I'm in the front, he's obviously driving. We come into town, and we're standing there by opposite Greenpoint Stadium. There's a little McDonald's there on the corner. I didn't know exactly where I want to start, so I figured, the McDonald's is as good a place as ever. So we're parking up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, sorry, it's before 5. And the excitement is there, so I take a whiz, but there's like this little bushes there, so I go and I take a little whiz there by the bush. But there's also little cubicles, but the cubicles are stinky. But as we're standing there and playing around, a car pulls up, and we're going to auto, who's this mode, and we like super paranoid. We turn around and we see this little, I think it was a Hyundai, little small little Hyundai kid pulls up, and it's Dave Thomas, some random guy that messaged me on Facebook, who said that he was really interested in the walk, and really supportive and amazing person. And Dave, again, I hope you're watching this. Thank you. Thank you for your support and most importantly, your presence that first day. Because, guys, I'll be honest with you, I was the most nervous and scared out of my mind that very first day. But he pulls up there at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, hey, who's this guy? It's like this random dude and his wife. 5 o'clock in the morning, pulling up. I first thought ADT. That was my first thought. But they pull up and we chat, and I'm like, hey, oh my god, and it's so amazing. You here? And he's like, you here? So I'm like, yeah, I said I would be here. But so yeah, after a few pleasantries, and we find out his wife, um, beautiful soul, also supportive of me. I mean, what other wife would be like, yeah, sure, go walk with some random guy, early morning in Cape Town, you know? But I thank her for the support she showed him, for what he saw in me also. But I stand there and we say goodbye, and I kiss my wifey goodbye, and I say goodbye to my boy, you know, and it's kind of an emotional moment because I'm not gonna see her for 10 days. I've never been that far long apart, away from my wife, and I'm gonna miss her. So I say my last goodbyes, and we walk. We take a few photos, and me and Dave starts walking. And the initial excitement is there. We're walking down Sea Point, going out towards Cape Town CBD. Cape Town is still sleeping, everything is still blanketed in the night sky. It's beautiful, it's quiet, it's peaceful. But we're walking, walking, walking. As we're walking, we come down towards Cape Town CBD, walking through towards the Golden Acre. We see a little bit of life. There's a few call centers there open up. Then we walk through around by the train station. So it's the Golden Acre, and then here's the bus. So we're walking there. That's basically becomes Voortrekker Road. That road that goes all the way, the main road. Forgive me, I'm not sure on the names. But so that main road where the bus rides down. So we're walking all the way. So it's a train station on the side, and we're walking. Here's the castle. I'm walking, and it's the two of us alone, and we're walking, and we see basically tent city. For those of you that don't know, we have a bit of a problem with homelessness in Cape Town, and there's a bunch of vagrants there, and it's sad to see actually. It's sad to see they are all along that passageway, and as we're walking, we can see them. I'm not going to lie to you, this was actually the part that I was the most scared, because again, there's crime in that community, which is sad. It's sad that we shouldn't associate the two because, yeah, I'm not going to go too further into that. But anyway, so we're walking through there, and we come through Woodstock, and we're walking all the way down. And we're walking all the way down, and it was just, as we're walking, talking, getting to understand and getting to know each other, it was just a really, really cool experience to have somebody, um, well, to have somebody to talk to, conversation. I actually didn't know how this was going to play out. But Dave, really cool person, tells me about his past experiences as well. Tells me about, excuse me, marathons and races that he's done. Excuse me. All without him knowing, he's planting seeds for me for future adventures that I want to go on. So that is something I'm going to discuss with you guys. Ooh, apologies, guys. That's something I want to discuss at the later stage again. But so we're walking down, and as we're walking, just walking and exploring and seeing Cape Town, and I mean, there's some I've always loved architecture, right? But there's something about those old buildings of Woodstock and Salt River, and the way they look at night, and just the life, the way a city breathes is different in the early hours than it is in the day or than it is at night. That's really, really amazing. But we're walking, and we come to our first little stop. because I have to adjust this bag, because this bag that I was carrying, it's got an adjustable strap, but the adjustable strap is, it's, there's a little bump in it. It's pressing into the base of my neck, yeah, and it's uncomfortable. So we get to this little total garage, engine garage, or this petrol station there out in Salt River. Um, and as we stop there, he goes get some water. I'm going, I'm adjusting my bag, but there, as I'm adjusting my bag, there's this old man sitting there, and this old man, he looks just like a vegan, but also at the same time he looks like he's off to work. But so we start talking, and I'm like, "Môre meneer, hoe gaan dit? Môre meneer." And chatty. Anyway, so he asked me, "Look, is there niks geld of iets om te eet nie, man?" So I'm like, "I don't have something to eat. I don't have any money, but I've got the snacks, and I've only got these health snacks on me, these muesli snacks and these things that my mom, shout out mommy, organized for me." So I give this guy the snacks, and he looks at it, he's like, and I'm like, "Yeah, ek weet dit gesond. Yes, I know it's just healthy stuff. Sorry for my non-Afrikaans speakers. I am mostly Afrikaans, so forgive me if I flip in Afrikaans." But this, so he's like, "Oh, it's healthy food." So I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm doing this," and I start telling him about the story, what I'm doing, and he's like, "Yo," um, and he's taken back, and he says, "You know what?" But he says it's not Afrikaans. He says, "You know what? Um, I respect what you are doing," and he says, for him, this what he's doing right now. He doesn't have work, but he goes sit there every morning at 5 o'clock waiting for any contractors or any people coming past so that he can take any work that they can offer. Reason being is that obviously work is scarce and money is tight and they don't have. So he commends me for doing that, and he says a little prayer with me. Um, and it touched me, it moved me. I appreciate it. To whoever you are, unknown uncle, I appreciate it. It was the first of many prayers, many blessings that I received along the way. But so Dave comes out the bathroom and we start walking again. We're walking through Salt River, um, we're walking through Salt River, going over the bridge, walking all the way down towards Kubo, Maitland, and it's beautiful. And the sky starts lighting up. It's the morning, and we can see Voortrekker, with the sun behind us coming up, shining down, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful, guys. I know people from Cape Town, we drive so fast past these things that we don't really take note, but it is beautiful. We're walking and we're walking and we're talking and we're telling each other about, past business experiences, past jobs, careers, futures, goals, things. And I'm inspired. I'm inspired. I think, Dave, there was no other person that should have been with me that morning but you. Thank you again because you support me. Because for those that don't know, the day one was supposed to be proof of concept. I needed to know that I could do this. Day one alone was over 50 to 60 kilometers, right? I'll be walking for 16 hours a day. Um, Me, myself, I'm not in the best of shape. I do gym, I do run, but again, I'm not Mr. Olympia. I have a buggered knee that I was concerned of, right? And obviously, back issues. But again, these are things that was worrying me. But through this conversation, my focus was not there, and he accompanied me all the way till just past Belleville. As we got just past Belleville, there is a McDonald's there, just outside of Belleville on Voortrekker, going towards now Kuilsriver side. Um, and I stopped by this McDonald's because at this point, remember, I didn't know how to dress, so I overdressed. I had tights on, I had shorts, pants, Under Armour, everything. I was hot. It was a decently warm day that day, right? And I got this bag with all my things, and I'm uncomfortable. So we stopped at this McDonald's, and as I'm walking in, the people behind the counters giving me like this weird look, and I going in and I go to the bathroom and I shut the door and I'm just not making a lot of noise because I'm falling over with this massive bag, dropping it, and I'm just kicking on the floor. I'm literally laying on the floor like a little um, turtle or something, kicking my bags and my shoes, changing clothes there. I was also at this point that I got my first call from my mom and dad, and they popped up and they're like, "Yo, um, where are you now? We want to obviously say goodbye because they couldn't make it to say goodbye to me in town, so they wanted to catch me along the way because they stay out in Brackenfell, and Brackenfell is quite close to Kuilsriver, or the area that I was going to be passing through, so they wanted to catch me along the way, just say hello or goodbye more importantly. But I tell them, look, I'm here currently. I'm going to be stopping at Zevenwacht Mall in Kuilsriver. That is my halfway point for my lunch point. So anyway, I finished dressing, gather Dave, and we continue walking. Unfortunately, when we got to Stockland Bridge, that is where he left, as he lives out in Brackenfell too. So we parted ways, took a little selfie, and he went, and I had to carry on. So I carry on walking, and I get to Zevenwacht like a half an hour later or so. But even while I was walking, my dad phones and he's like, "Yo, where you now?" I'm like, "I'm walking." He says, "I'm gonna get you by Stickland Cemetery. There's a graveyard opposite where if you know where Kuilsriver Access Park is." So he says, "I'm gonna get you there." And I'm walking. They don't get them. I'm like, "Yo, I need to go. I'm at time." I continue walking. From again, where you now? I'm like, "By Access Park, where you? We're gonna get you." I'm like, "Yo, you're not here. I'm gonna go." And I continue walking. I get to Zevenwacht Mall, thinking I've missed now my parents because they don't have a car. They're taking taxi or Uber. So I continue on to Zevenwacht Mall and I stop there, and oh my, is my back killing me? The moment you run a race and you stop and everything just falls in, that's exactly how I felt. So I get to Zevenwacht Mall, and I'm sitting there in their food court, but I'm sitting with my own little lunchbox and sandwiches and a bottle of water. Too cheap to spend any money because I only had 170 rand for the trip. But nevertheless, so I'm there and I'm having a snack, and my dad phones me again. He's like, "Yo, where you now?" And I'm like, "I'm in Zevenwacht. I'm having a snack." My father says, "By what entrance are you?" I'm like, "Hmm?" I say, "No, I'm by the food court." My dad said, "Okay, cool. We're now there." So they surprised me. So my mom and dad, they don't have a vehicle. My mom and dad are currently retired. Um, Not in the best of health, but gracefully good health. And it was such a nice surprise. I think it was what I needed. Not to say that my spirits was down. As I said, I was having a good day up until this point. Yes, I was sore. I lost that at one of my tops while I was walking. Um, but nevertheless, just seeing them there, having lunch with them, and my mom being the super concerned worrywart that she is, she runs to go buy me water and so buy energize and all these things. I mean, remember, at this point, I'm already got a bag full of goodies and things that she organized. She packed lunch for me, guys. So I'm finished with lunch, and I say, "Look here, mom, I'm gonna go. Love you guys, giving hugs and everything." And my father says, in Afrikaans, "Laat ek gou voel hoe voel hy sak. Let me feel how that bag feels." My dad puts the bag on, and my dad is, he's 68, or he's now turned 69 this year. But he's 69 and nice. But he puts on his heavy bag, and my dad says, "Okay, come, we're gonna walk with you." And I'm like, "Go where?" And my dad says, "We're gonna walk with you to Easterriver." Do you know how far Easterriver is from Zevenwacht Mall? My dad, like a trooper, puts on the bag and buggers off. He leaves me and my mom walking at the back. Now my mom, He's not as fast to walk as my dad. And the two of us are walking and we are laughing and talking. And it is such an amazing vibe walking with these two. Yeah, my dad is buggering off the end of fun. He's not bothered with us. But my dad and my mom continued to walk with me all the way till um, East River. Just before you get to East River, there's a bridge that goes over the railway. I think it's Melton Rose Station. They left me there and they caught a taxi back to Belleville to go home. It was sad saying goodbye to my mom. And sad saying goodbye to my dad. But I didn't feel like it would be the last time. I was just sad because they were with me. Now, for anybody that asks me what does love look like to me, for me this was a beautiful, pure symbol of love. My dad literally said, let me take that weight off your shoulder and let me carry it for you. I mean, that's what fathers do, right? That's what moms do. That's what parents do. That's love. He walked with me to make sure that I'm safe. They wanted to say goodbye to me. They were concerned about their 40-year-old son. And they wanted to walk with it. I'm sure if I didn't scowl, if I didn't argue with my mother and I had forced them to turn around and go home, they would have walked all the way to Gordons Bay. But I said goodbye. I put them on the bus, on the taxi, and they went. And I continued walking. For the next few hours, I was alone and I walked past East River, past Foray, all the way down and I came to Strand. And by the time I got to Strand, it was raining, it was cold. I was definitely questioning my life choices at this point, but I was in good spirits. I wasn't walking alone. I don't mean about the random people I caught up along the way, and I met so many people along the way, spoke to so many people, said hello to so many people. Again, just a smile can do so much for somebody. Stay. But I walked through Strand, beautiful area I saw, and then I asked this one guy standing along the road, which I shouldn't have asked, but I didn't have data on my phone, so my navigation was off. I didn't have navigation on my phone. So this guy tells me, no. To get to Gordons Bay, you can take this here by the robots or traffic lights for those that are not from Cape Town. He says, take this right and continue straight on down, you'll get to Strand. And I take this right, and this right is the wrong right. And I go down this road, and I honestly, to this day, I probably have to go look it up, but I walk down this massive road going to Strand with this big field on the left. And I'm walking in this field, and it's mushy, and it's because it's muddy now. It's from the rain, and I'm cold and I'm uncomfortable. And this bag, thankfully the bag is waterproof, but this bag is weighing and it's pulling me backwards. I continue walking, and I'm walking through Strand, and for about an hour and a half. So, and I'm walking, and I eventually come to this point just outside of Gordons Bay, and I look and I see that Gordons Bay Mall. It's just about an hour still on the straight road, and then just a little bit in. I phoned the priest, or the priest phoned me actually, excuse me, and he asked me where you now. And I said, like, I'm along the way. Now as I'm walking in the rain. I didn't post much videos, but I'll post the video that I did record. And I'm walking, as I'm walking, just about half an hour outside of my destination. The priest pulls up. It's Marcel Dubois from Gordons Bay. He pulls up next to me in his double cab bucky. And he's like, hey! And I'm like, hey! And I want to say, like, take this bag. I want to say, take this bag. And he's like, hey, beep, beep, I'll see you at the mall. And he drives off before I can say, take this bag. Because at this time, my legs are killing me. My knees are on fire. My back is gone. My shoulders from the weight of that bag. I literally took the stick that I was walking with, put it to the straps, and I lifting it up in order to not feel that pain on my shoulders. But I continue walking. And within the next half an hour, I come there to outside of Gordons Bay Mall. He's standing there in the parking, it's like this little gravel parking outside, and I get him, and I'm like, oh, thank you. And he asked me, can I help? I said, look, I just want to chuck this bag in. And I chuck the bag in the back seat, and I get in the front seat. And I'm telling you, my legs are singing. There's this Toyota Hilux double cab, and it's a little bit raised. I'm telling you, I can't even raise my legs that height. I can't even raise my legs that height. But I get in the car and he drives me to my home for the night. Now, every night at every destination, we arrange to have some kind of accommodation. So the first night in Gordons Bay, I'll be staying with Jacques and Lindsay Franke, beautiful couple that have opened up their home. Come to their home, to meet and greets, get to know a little bit about the two of them. Turns out his wife herself is an educate teacher. Lindsay, thank you for everything. Your home is beautiful. Thank you for the meal that you prepared. Thank you for opening your hearts. Jock, thank you for keeping your dogs away from me. But yeah, turns out she herself is a teacher, and my wife is a teacher, and I'm just like, oh, wow, amazing. The connection again there. That reminders. So they organized me a meal. Small meal because again I can't eat too much. But they give me this home. A beautiful home. And all I'm seeing is double bed. I see shower. I'm telling you, I am getting undressed to go wash. I am peeling my clothes off. I am so sore. I cannot even bend down or reach to take my shoes off or loosen the laces. I am that much in pain. But I'm smiling, I am giggling, I am happy. I phone my Sheila and I do a little video call. I show her the place. I show her the meal. It was like, she sees, hey, what's that beer there? I was like, beer is carbo loading. But yeah, that was my first day. The first day, I got there just about past 7 in the evening. I was overjoyed. I was thankful. I was grateful. It showed that I could do it. I made it. You guys have no idea how the sense of achievement, of accomplishment that comes over you at that point in time. Yes, you are sore. Yes, you are tired and hungry and cold. But I felt amazing, unbelievable. I felt untouchable. I felt anything was possible. And yeah, that was day one. Proof of concept. I did it! I did it. I'd love to continue telling you more, but we're already on almost 29 minutes. I hope enough of you to view this, see this, and if you want to, if you have any questions or comments, anything that you want me to elaborate on, please go ahead in the comments. I'd love to interact with you, and if you want me to tell you a bit more about anything specific, please feel free to reach out. But for now, this is day one. I want to post this as well as a few videos from day one, and then I should will be posting shortly day two again. Do hope you join me for these short stories. Well, I say short, 30 minutes, but I'll try to keep the next one shorter. But again, thank you, yeah, for joining me here on Lucian's Walk. Have a great day.